morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order for January 3rd, 2024. Polk County Regional Health Building Suite A. At this time, would everybody please make sure you mute all your devices, including cell phones, and we would like to ask Sean Ferry with Pine Forest Baptist Church to come forward and lead us in prayer.
Father God, we thank you that we can come together like this, and I just pray right now that you would give wisdom and discernment to these commissioners, and throughout this time that you would just bless each one that is here, that voices would be heard, and that the decisions that are made would honor and glorify you. And I just pray that throughout all of this you will bless and that you will be blessed. We love you, Father God, and I again thank you for each one of these who have chosen to serve and their ability to serve, and I just pray your richest blessings on them. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, did we have anyone sign up for public comment? No, ma'am. Item number 3, informational reports, in no particular order. And I do know that I'm going to get you to wait just a minute, Matt.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure that there's time for people to ask questions from your kiddos and so forth. So let me first make some announcements. We have early voting. You have the early voting list in front of you for the March primary. Early voting for March primary begins on February 20th. We do want to encourage everyone to take that opportunity to make their voices heard. The other group I want to recognize today, and if I could get them to stand, and that is our HR department, Human Resources. Both of these ladies represent the county and represent them well. They've been working hard. And I know that in the past, we always recognize law enforcement and we always recognize emergency responders for coming to work and showing up when other people wish they didn't have to. But we had bonding moments when the freeze was going on because HR still had to respond, still had to come in and do their job for the rest of the county. So not only are they our spotlight, but a special thank you to them from the court, from the treasurer's office, from the auditor's office, etc. Thank you. Okay, and now we need our yearly informational report from AgriLife and Extension.
All right. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. I'm going to go first, so I think y'all all know who I am, but I'm Matthew March. I'm the ag agent for the county. And then Miss Alyssa, Miss Deborah, our 4-H and health agent, are going to talk after me. So before I talk about what I did bring a few of some volunteers and then one of my producers today to talk about some of the work I've done with them. So first I'll invite up Mr. W.R. Baker to come up here. And I think most of y'all probably know Mr. Baker. He owns a ranch out there towards the Trinity, and we did a cattle dewormer trial with them this last fall. So I'll let him talk about that a little bit.
How are y'all doing today?
Hey, Dave.
I'm a little nervous. It's been about 50 years since I testified in court. So. No, really.
I think you're Mike's friend.
Yeah. I've recognized.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. But anyway, really, Matt and I worked on several different projects together, and it's some of the stuff he's done. It wasn't just paperwork or easy to do, like the cattle program where we checked to see if the wormer was effective and everything. That was a pretty intense program, and he stayed right with it. And you know, something we hadn't seen a lot, that helped make sure our wormers were paying for themselves and stuff. But not only that, he's helped with the hay and pesticides, and he's just pretty well-rounded county agent. And I know he's not just helping me for what I'm interested in. I've been to meetings where there's been wildlife biologists. He's helped with deer plots, vegetation, lawns, whatever. He's just pretty well-rounded county agent. I think the best one we've had in a long time.
And we would agree. He's an award-winning.
He is top 4 in the county. I mean, in the state.
And WR is kind of understating how how difficult it was to get the samples for the dewormer trial. We got them straight from the source, I'll just leave it at that. I got Mr. and Mrs. Mark and Diane Langston here. There's some volunteers I have with me for, they help me out in the garden, and they also help with the Master Naturalist. So I'll invite y'all to come up and speak and talk about some of the volunteer work y'all have done.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for having us here. I've worked with Matt for 2 years at the Polk County Senior Citizen Garden, and Matt has told me that they provided 380 pounds of food in the past year to the seniors there. Seniors might be at a higher risk to have inadequate fresh vegetables in their diet. It could be financial, it could be transportation, and y'all probably know the cost of groceries lately is quite high. There's benefits to working in the garden, physically, mentally. You're out there, you're getting vitamin D, your brain is relaxing, weeding the garden. And I really enjoyed the opportunity. I've also made some nice community connections that way with the Master Naturalist. I wanted to learn more. I had just retired when I started working in the community garden, so it provided me good connections with the community. I've also worked with Matt, Ag in the Classroom. In October, we had several hundred fourth graders out there teaching them how to fish with fake fishing lines there, and they really enjoyed that. I've also helped with the free tree giveaway, which is gonna happen again next week, next Friday, which was a good opportunity with the drought and everything to restore some of the dead trees and restore nature. Do you have anything you wanna add?
I'm a big helper. Hard for me to hear. Some of you I've met before. So I
Mark's
wondered
here.
if you had any questions of what we've been doing and, you know, the volunteerism that has been going around for the gardens and.
Them two really helped me a lot in the garden, especially Mark. He comes with his weed eater and his power tools, and he gets at it, and sometimes I'm kind of worried about them out there in the field. They really helped me out a lot, so.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for your service as well.
All right, so I think that Alyssa passed out these to y'all, so I'm just gonna run through this real quick for my area of expertise. So I basically have 3 major programming areas in the county. I got produce education, beef and forage, and then wildlife and habitat improvement. So like I said, I'll just hit the highlights real quick so I'm not up here all day. But for the produce education, they mentioned it already, we have our senior citizen garden, and then I partner with Deborah back there, and we go over and we cook fresh vegetables at the senior center there by the annex. We also I partner with the Farm Bureau to do a bi-monthly growers breakfast where we bring in a high-quality speaker for our produce growers in the county. So those are the ones that are involved with the farmers market. Some of them are just part-time or retirees. So we bring them in good education that way. So that's the highlight of the produce education. We also, this last year, we did a tomato variety result demonstration with Mr. Tommy Snook. So that was pretty interesting there to see what tomatoes grew best out of his operation. For the beef and forage education, that's obviously dealing with our cattle and hay producers. The highlight of that is our pesticide CEU certification, which we do in November. And this last year we had 32 participants at that, so they come to that to get their CEUs to continue having their licenses to apply products that they need to keep their operations financially stable. I also participate in Cow Country Congress, which is a multi-county program. This last year it was over in Huntsville at the research farm over there for Sam Houston, but we get a couple of our guys go over there to that, and gals. So that's the highlight of the beef and forage education, and then along with the cattle dewormer trial that we did at Mr. Baker's Ranch. And then my last area of emphasis is the wildlife and habitat improvement. There's 2 big parts of that. The first is gonna be the Forest Pest Seminar, which is again a multi-county program that we do up in Lufkin. But we get quite a few loggers and foresters that are involved in the timber industry from here in Polk County go up to Lufkin to that. That's kind of their big annual meeting to get education. And then also I do East Texas Natural Resource Field Tours, where we go on 3 tours of professionally managed sites where I get these landowners, a lot of them are new landowners that really don't know what they're doing, and we take them out to a site that's getting professionally managed either by State Forest Service biologists. We go out to private operations too. So this last year we went up to Winston Ranch between Nacogdoches and Lufkin so that these new landowners can see how to manage a pine forest in East Texas properly, or whatever they want to do for their wildlife and habitat. So that's all I got, unless y'all got any questions for me.
I do want to say thank you, and I'm sure it's echoed by everybody here, but thanks, Matt, you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Herding cats. I have 4-H kids that are gonna speak first, and then they're gonna go back to school, because they don't wanna miss anything. But, I've got Eddie, and then, Eli and Silas, and Callie. So, Eddie's gonna go first, and then I'll do all my spiel, so go ahead.
Good morning. Thank y'all for having me today. My name is Eddie Turk. I'm the president of the Livingston 4-H Club, and I'm here to give a report on the Polk County 4-H Shotgun Club. We've shown a lot of growth since last year. We're now up to 25 youth members. We have 4 certified coaches, and we have 3 more in line for state 4-H training. Since the beginning of the 4-H year in September of 2023, we've shot over 19,000 practice targets and over 2,500 competitive targets. We would like to thank Polk County for providing the field in Leggett and helping us with mowing and putting in the roads. We are planning to hold our annual 4-H shoot again this year in June. Last year, this was our only fundraiser, and it was very successful, drawing in members from all across the state. We were able to use the proceeds from that fundraiser to purchase practice ammunition for all of our members, and soon we will have our first 8 traps arriving. We look forward to further developing the field and being able to use it for regular practices. Currently, we are still holding practices in Lufkin. Right now, our main long-term need is water for restrooms, drinking, and cooking in the concession stand. Currently, there's no community water available, and drilling a well may be the only option. Again, I would like to thank Polk County for dedicating the land and everything y'all done for helping the project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eli, Silas, you wanna go next? Pulling out their cell phone.
Figured out yesterday afternoon, didn't have time to write anything down. Good morning, everybody. My name is Silas Wood. I've been showing in 4-H for 7 years now. And I've learned plenty of stuff, all sorts of life skills and really just everything. I've showed rabbits, lambs, and chickens, and I've been heavily involved in goats and beef cattle. And I've learned like all sorts of life skills, such as how to spend, save, and earn money, resilience. So no matter how the cookie crumbles in the ring, you can work as hard as you can and do your best. And you may still get last, but you just gotta shake the judge's hand, tell him you appreciate what he's done, and congratulate your other competitors. There's plenty of 4-H opportunities, such as speaking events, photography, baking events, something more exotic like entomology, and it just provides plenty of opportunities for people to learn skills that they need for life and just, whatever they want to know, job opportunities. Sportsmanship is a huge lesson that 4-H is taught. Like I said, you just gotta get out there and tell everybody good job, no matter whether they did better or worse than you. They did their best. The best skill that I've been taught throughout 4-H is hard work, though, because you got to go out to the barn, no matter the weather, no matter the time, take care of the animals, and you got to do everything they need. You always have to do your best, and if you don't do your best, then you're not going to do good. And it's a very important skill for young students to learn, is to get out there and just work your hardest, no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'll pull up my phone too. Hello, my name is Eli Wood. I'm here to talk about what 4-H means to me. I've been a 4-H member for 8 years. I've showed beef cattle, chickens, lambs, and rabbits. I've also showed in the craft show. 4-H has allowed me to show knives because I'm a bladesmith, and whereas FFA does not offer the same route to showing. It has allowed me to prepare for college in several different ways. It has taught hard work, financial responsibility, and it's taught financial responsibility through budgeting, such as paying for feed, housing, water even. And it's taught hard work through going out to the barn when it's raining and through raising your animals for 6 weeks to 6 months and having to go out there twice a day, sometimes 8 times a day, to feed and water them. 4-H is really, what it means to me is it really prepares me for success and prepares all the people and the members in 4-H for success also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm getting out my phone too. My name's Kaylee Ratcliffe. I've been in 4-H for 6 years. My projects have always been market goats and horses. I've shown at both county and major levels. I've won Grand Champion Junior Showmanship with my goats 5 years in a row. And in those 5 years, I've won Grand Champion once and reserve twice at TNLS. Raising and showing goats has taught me responsibility, humility, and has humbled me in many situations. Even though I've won a lot throughout the years, I've learned that not every time you enter the ring, you're going to leave with a buckle. With horses, I participate in both speed and stock horse event at district and state levels. In 2021, I was pleased to win Reserve Junior High Point Champion at district in stock horse. In 2022, I won TNLS Rodeo Queen and represented my county for the year. I have had the opportunity to raise and train a yearling colt who will become my next barrel horse. I'm very excited about what the future holds as I will be competing in 4-H district and state futurity. I've learned that over the years that raising and showing animals is a big responsibility that you have to commit to. And sometimes that means missing events with your family and friends because there are animals at home that still need to be fed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm gonna excuse y'all. Y'all can head back to school if you want to. Go get something to eat. I'm sure breakfast is still available. And you see, I love working with great kids. They're the best. You have in front of you are the two things that 4-H has really focused on this year. Majority of these kids do show livestock, and if you look on, I think that's the second page, is the livestock clinic that we participated. Of the 156 kids that we had in Polk County 4-H, 137 of them have livestock projects. So that was very important for our committee to put together some sort of a clinic for our livestock kids. Going to the livestock shows, major shows, they saw a deficiency in the showmanship skills, so we really focused on that. We never ever had a problem with the quality of the animals that we have here in Polk County. We do very well at the major shows. So with that, I'm not going to read all that to you. That's just for you to see that 137 of the 156, I think, was all livestock related. Also, you heard in their speeches that they don't do all livestock. You heard Eli talk about his bladesmithing and blacksmithing and crafting, and then, of course, Eddie with his shotgun. But the other things that I like to focus with our kids is because not all of them are able to do livestock or to do metalworking or anything like that. So we focused on summer day camps, doing floral design, grilling 101. We did baking classes, just home economics kind of things. We did that throughout the summer and the year. Always at the holidays, we do a holiday baking, and then at Christmas, we did the homemade holidays. Your kids come and do crafts things. So it kind of gets them in the mindset of that I don't have to do livestock, or, maybe, and it's also good things for college readiness, giving them those skills to be able to function at college. So, but other than that, I will say our key points this year, we did grow in our 4-H program. We were number three, Matt, 2 or 3, second or third place.
Top 3.
Yeah. With our membership enrollment, we gained 147%, which was another 50 kids. So, we're growing in our 4-H program. So, and again, I will echo the sentiment with, Eddie about thank you for the property out in Leggett and working with that. They, Milt and his crew really came through with helping us mow and do what we needed to do. That was a very successful fundraiser. So they're really excited about that and really ready to grow with it. So, any questions?
Word of
for me?
mouth on the shoots is wonderful.
Yes, yes.
So.
Even it landed me in a hospital the week after, but
Uh-oh.
it was, yes,
Can't
it
help
was-
you with that.
I know, it was fast and growing, but yes, it was great. It was a great shoot. All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with Deborah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and I have a few handouts for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Okay, and my name is Deborah Alvarenga, and I am the health agent for Polk County, and also I work in Trinity County as well, so I'm shared between the 2 counties. And I am, I guess, the newer person here, although I've been around for about 2 years now, I think, so not so new anymore. But, so I am the health agent, which is a different kind of position. My focus is working with the community on health-related projects and health-related educational programs. And so what I focused on here in Polk County is I do work with adults and I work with youth as well. And so for the adult programs, I work with the seniors at the Polk County Senior Center that Matt had mentioned. We work together on putting together monthly programs for them and talking to them about healthy diet, nutrition, and gardening, and how Matt does the gardening part of it and talks to them about how to grow, vegetables and fruits and how those can be good and incorporated into your diet. I talk to them about the nutritional part of it and encouraging, because we know that one of the things that I think as was mentioned earlier, that people in all throughout the United States, as they get older, one of the things that they're really missing is eating their fruits and vegetables. That seems to be, across the board. And so we do work with the seniors. A lot of times they don't want to try, new vegetables and new kinds of dishes, but we present and we do, like I do a cooking demonstration with them and show them how to make it. I try to do simple recipes with fresh ingredients that a lot of it's produced in our garden, so that they can also do the same and at home. And once they try things, usually we get a pretty good response as to, yeah, I really like that, I didn't know. And one of the results from the seniors, the lunch and learns that we do at the senior center is 96% of the seniors that we surveyed there reported that they added more fresh produce to their diet after participating in the Lunch and Learn. And we thought that was a pretty good result, that almost everybody is increasing their fruit and vegetable intake, especially fresh produce. So we have reached 214 people. That's the total of attendance. We present the Lunch and Learns usually once a month. And so the attendance has been good, and the feedback has been very positive to that program. I think that the seniors really do enjoy it. So that's one of the things that I do is focus on working with the seniors here, but I also am working in the schools. And I work, this past year I worked with Goodrich ISD, and I brought 2 different programs to the adults there. And one was Walk Across Texas. I don't know if you've heard us talking about that in the past, but that's a program that gets people out and gets people moving, trying to increase physical activity on a daily basis. And it's an 8-week program. We had all of the teachers and faculty at Goodrich ISD participating this past year. And everything, they did really great. They walked a total of 7,350 miles between all of them, and that's about 147 miles per person. So we really did get the faculty and staff moving at Goodrich. Well, there were a lot of parents also that joined in the Walk Across Texas there. So the other thing that I presented at Goodrich for the adults, for the faculty and staff and parents, was what we call the Health Talk Express Love Your Heart series. Heart disease seems to be a particular problem in Polk County. If you notice on the numbers, cardiovascular deaths are particularly high in Polk County as compared in other counties throughout the state. And so we really wanted to go about tackling that problem of heart disease and educating people about blood pressure, cholesterol, eating a healthy diet, knowing the warning signs of stroke. Those are some of the things that we emphasized. And we had all of the faculty participating in that Love Your Heart series. And I did 3 different presentations, all on different topics: cholesterol, blood pressure, etc. And the results from that, the feedback that I received was also really good. 100% of the participants said that they will use the new information that they were given to help them reduce cholesterol and blood pressure. So a lot of times, it's the knowledge, that is powerful. That's what enables people to be able to make changes in their lives. So that's the adult side of things. I also worked with the youth at Goodrich ISD, and we created and we built and maintained, nurtured a garden for the kids there. And they had some wonderful crops that they grew. And this was all part of the Learn, Grow, Eat, Go program, which is a 10-week program for kids. I worked with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades at Goodrich, and teaching them about how to grow a garden, and then teaching them also about nutrition, and helping them to understand what is good to eat in terms of what fuels their bodies. And so I think the emphasis here was just trying to work with the kids, because we know that habits are learned really early in life, and if we can make a difference with the kids from a young age, teaching them healthy habits, working with them on eating more fruits and vegetables, and it really does help for the kids to grow what they're going to eat. So we made recipes with some of the food that they grew in their garden, and they're very excited about being able to eat what they had actually grown. So that program went on, and then we also did Walk Across Texas with the youth there at Goodrich, and actually every grade level at Goodrich participated in Walk Across Texas. So it was really great participation. As you can see on the results page, the results were very good, and the feedback was positive. For the Walk Across Texas program, 277 students participated, and they walked a total of about 10,000 miles, so averaging about 34 miles per student. So that really helped, get them moving. We talked to them a lot about, movement and physical activity rather than sitting at home watching a screen and playing video games and being focused like that. And so their time that they actually spent in physical activity improved from the time that we began, and we did a pre-survey, and then at the end we did a post-survey, and the time that they spent in physical activity had increased and decreased for screen time. So those were all positive results. And I think That's about all that I had. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we go on to number 4, we have an environmental enforcement officer that I wanna make sure that the court recognizes. He's in your PAS right now, but this is Mr. Miller, and so he will be our new environmental enforcement officer. And he's in the PAS for today. Item number 4, old business, which was tabled from the last meeting, which was the consider the request to cancel a portion of Ridge Lake Estates subdivisions and for a partial replat on some of those lots. We already had the hearing last time. If you will recall that at the public hearing, which we held at our previous meeting, a property owner questioned what the proposed replat would mean to her as the owner of lot 146. However, after the court meeting, it was discovered that her property owner, that her lot was actually 136, not 146. And so there's no reason in having another hearing because no one else was present and nobody else would be directly impacted and no other concerns were raised during that hearing. So that subdivision is in precinct 1. Is it 4? Oh, okay, precinct 4. Well, I thought you were the one last time. Oh, okay. We flip-flopped. Okay, precinct 4.
And I'm gonna make a motion to pass this.
So, motion to approve from Commissioner Cassidy, seconded by Commissioner Purvis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 5, new business, which is your consent agenda. We also have some addendums on portion B. Addendum number 1, in the amount of $176,912.36. Addendum number 2, in the amount of $1,070.92. Addendum number 3, in the amount of $125,170.06. Addendum number 4, in the amount of $3,505.61. Addendum number 5, in the amount of $11.72. Addendum number 6, in the amount of $3,055.07. And addendum number 7, in the amount of $28,063.21. Is there anything on the consent agenda that anybody wishes to pull? If not, then I need a motion to approve. Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Robertson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Did we jump the number here?
Yeah.
No, that was new business, okay, got it. Item number 6, consider approval of personnel matters as follows. Review and consideration of personnel action form requests submitted by department heads since the last meeting, and review of any authorized emergency hiring. We don't have any emergency hires at this time, and the listing of the PAS was included in your packet. Motion to approve, Commissioner Dubus, second Commissioner Cassidy. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consider request for revisions and amendments to the budget as follows. The FY 2024 budget revisions and amendments as presented by the County Auditor's Office. A copy of the proposed revisions number 2024-6 and amendments 2024-6A is included in your packet for your review. Motion to approve, Commissioner Purvis. Second, Commissioner Dubus. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, schedule a special Commissioners Court meeting for February 6th of 2024. We have multiple grants from various offices that have application deadlines that are approaching, and scheduling this special session allows them an additional 2 weeks to get their applications consolidated and submit to the court for approval. We also have 2 bid packets out for precinct 3 truck and roof replacement at the old Sears building. And the special session will allow us to award those bids sooner so that work can get started. Is that a problem for anybody? I think we discussed this or notified everybody previously, February sixth, same time.
Fine with me. Make
Yeah.
a motion to approve it.
Motion
I'll
to
second.
approve, Commissioner Cassidy, second Commissioner Robertson. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, consider request from the Sheriff's Office to apply for the Rural Law Enforcement Grant. They've been working on their grant application and requesting the court's permission to apply, to move forward with the application. Per the specifications outlined in Senate Bill 22, the county judge is the authorized user for this grant for the Sheriff's Office. And I just need approval from the court to move forward with the application. The process has already started, signatures are on the dotted line. So based on the population of Polk County, the SO office is eligible for $500,000, which may be used to increase the salary of deputies and jailers, hire additional staff, or purchase vehicles, firearms, or safety equipment. But the first thing they must do with the available funding is increase deputy pay to a minimum of $45,000 and jailer pay to a minimum of $40,000. We've moved forward at that. We do need to be clear that all personnel must have TCOL certification and meet all the criteria as it is presented by the comptroller.
I'll make the motion.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Robertson, second Commissioner Dugas. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss and consider any and all necessary action regarding the Polk County driver vehicle policy. A copy of the proposed policy is included for your review. Several months ago, I think almost a year ago, we were made aware that some of our policies were out of date and that we were non-compliant with the insurance companies and with the IRS. I don't know about you all, but I would rather not tangle with the IRS. So the IRS views take-home vehicles for non-law enforcement employees as taxable compensation, which must be reported on an employee's W-2. The county may be assessed penalties and interest for failing to report the taxable benefit. There are multiple vehicles and personnel that are exempt from this. Okay, law enforcement vehicles, some of you all's vehicles that have gas tanks in them. So there are multiple vehicles that are exempt from that. We included all of that in the packet for your review. There was one modification that was made, and that is on page 5. If you wanna look at the policy that was presented to you, on page 5. It says qualified non-personal use vehicles. Instead of trying to specifically say exactly which vehicle all the way across the board. So we know law enforcement is exempt, we know the majority of you all's vehicles are exempt because they have gas tanks and so forth in them, and any other qualified by the IRS, non-personal use vehicles. So, part of what has happened is some Texas counties have been dinged by the IRS. And the problem with that is that they don't just ding the county, they also ding the employee. And so we don't wanna look up and have some of our employees going, what happened? Because it was not included on the W-2 form. It's a minimal number of employees technically that will be impacted, or minimum number of vehicles.
So what is this date, January 26th, to be completed and turned in? I mean,
That is because we have to get it in time for people to give the treasurer and the auditor and HR time to make sure that they have the information correct before W-2s get sent out.
before the,
Yes, sir.
which that means it's gotta be done before the end of January.
Correct. That's just why, January 26th. And if you're, in your vehicles, most of your take-home vehicles have got gas.
Oh, they all do.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
then really, the impact is going to be in those departments that have, someone that drives but is not on 24-hour response, which most of your guys are, because they have to respond to an emergency. You know, so we will take a close look at every vehicle, and we already have. We will take another close look if anyone notifies us of a question that they have, that this policy policy does not cover or create the exemption for. But it also provides you, the policy includes links to exactly what we're referencing from the IRS. We didn't rewrite the IRS code.
Yeah.
That would be way too cumbersome.
I'll make motion for it.
Motion to approve,
Second.
Commissioner Cassidy, second Commissioner Purvis.
Now, that's what,
Oh,
if we
sorry.
find something, we can change it later.
Oh, everything is always a work in motion.
Okay.
You know, so if major issues come up, and it's not, the concern isn't really with you guys or even law enforcement, but if major issues come up with other departments, that we look up and say, hold on just a second, we need to look at that. But part of it also is that our insurance company has requested that every single county vehicle that has a designated driver, that designated driver be listed. That it not just be, oh, whoever wants that car can take it today. That designated driver be listed, and that the insurance company must know who that vehicle is assigned to. Which makes perfect sense. I mean, there isn't anything in here that's unreasonable. Any other questions? So I rescinded your second, Commissioner Purvis. Do you want to leave it as a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Hey, Commissioner Purvis.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor say aye.
10:41.
Thank you, ma'am.